Hello boys and girls, welcome to online school. Today we are going to travel. Look at these pictures please. What do you think? Where are we going to go? You're right, we're going to go on holiday to Australia. Now we have our first task. Let's listen.
What do you think of most when you think about Australia? Would you like to visit it? Why? Why not? Listen and put the pictures in order. Which picture doesn't the advertisement talk about?
So, our task is listen and put the pictures in order. Let's do it.
Come to Australia, the land of contrasts. With over 7.5 million square kilometres of land, Australia is the 6th largest country in the world. Nature lovers, we have everything for you. It's not just about kangaroos and the huge Uluru Rock raising out of the desert that everyone knows about. We have 6 different climatic zones, from the drought and red soil of the outback to the amazing green vegetation of its northern tropical zones. After your journey through nature, you can treat yourself to time in one of our amazing cities, which are full of culture. Who could come to Australia without visiting Sydney and its amazing Opera House? Call now for a free Visit Australia brochure.
Well, let's check ourselves. So picture 1, picture 2, picture 3, picture 4, and picture 5. Great! All the answers are correct. Now, boys and girls, our next task is to complete the gaps with the letters standing for the missing sentences. Let me help you. Let's start. Australia is such a huge country that it has 3 time zones: Western, Central, and Eastern. Australia is also so big that it has different seasons and climates within the same country. All of the major cities are located on the coast. It is nearly 4,000 kilometers from Sydney to Perth if you want to visit both Perth and Sydney. Make sure you plan your holiday route as soon as you can. Now, let's complete the gaps. A. Winter nights there can be -8 degrees centigrade, whereas summer days can be 48 degrees. B. Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Adelaide are in the east. Darwin is in the north, whereas Perth is located on the west coast. C. Of course, you can always take it easy instead on a luxury cruise around the harbour and watch the people climbing. D. So, although Sydney is one of the first cities in the world to celebrate New Year each year, the residents of the Perth in the west have to wait another 2 hours before it reaches them. E. While it may be below 0 degrees centigrade in the snowy mountains in the south, it could be really hot in the northwest near Derby. Let's see the second text. Most tourists in Australia want to see the red sandstone, Uluru, or Ayers Rock. This is the most famous natural landmark in the country and is about 443 kilometers from Alice Springs near the center of Australia. Like all desert climates, the temperature varies a lot at Uluru. The best time to visit is between August and September, when the temperature only ranges between 10 and 28 degrees. So, my dear students, choose the best answer to complete the gap. Let's have a look at the last text. But you don't have to travel all around Australia to have a great time. There is so much to do just on the east coast. If you stay in Sydney, there is one particularly exciting trip you can do. Unless you are scared of heights, that is, you can choose one of 4 ways to climb the beautiful Sydney Harbour Bridge to get an amazing view of the city. You can either take one of the slower routes, or you can do the express climb and not stop until you reach the top. So, let's look at the sentences and complete the gaps. Are you ready with your answers? Let's check. So, text number 1. The sentences are D, E, and B. Text number 2. The sentence is A. And text number 3. The sentence is C. My dear students, we haven't finished our journey to Australia yet. We have the last task. Our task is
Match the 2 halves of the sentences, then listen and check your answers.
So, let's do the task. Great! All the answers are correct. But anyway, let's listen.
The north of Australia has some very green areas, while the centre of the country is desert. We will climb the Sydney Harbour Bridge unless it rains or is too windy. Although it is small, the red-backed spider is very dangerous. We are going to save our money until we have enough for a holiday. We think of kangaroos as cute, whereas Australian farmers don't like them at all.
In conclusion, let's look at this picture and do the last task. Our task is to put the items into the correct order and make sentences. So let's start. Let's do it together. Well, let's start from this. The New Zealand flag has 4 stars on it, whereas the Australian flag has 6. Correct? Let's go further. I think we should start from this. I'd like to go to Australia, even though it is a long and expensive flight. And I think we should start from this. As soon as I saw pictures of kangaroos, I knew I wanted to go to Australia. Sentence number 3. While I am not really scared of spiders or snakes, I wouldn't go camping in Australia. Let's have a look at the sentence number 4. There will be a drought unless it rains. And the last sentence. Although it is called Australian football, it's more like rugby. So, my dear students, I hope you liked our journey to Australia. See you next lesson.